Hey there, this is Rich. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about everything y'all need to know about where to pivot your career in tech in 2025. Now, before we go ahead and get started, I'm recording this clip actually after everything that I was done. There's a lot of political context in this video, but as always, I just want you guys to go out there and make the most amount of money possible. And I promise you guys this, like whether you guys are for the current administration or against, this is the direction that the business is going. It's going to be going in three ways. I'll show you exactly all the different routes that you guys can go ahead and print cash. But more importantly of all, if you want to know the best tech companies to go ahead and work for in your field, at the very, very end of this video, there's not a clickbait. At the very end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all exactly this hack. It takes you less than 30 seconds to learn the best tech companies to apply for. The most profitable tech companies to go ahead and apply for. There's somebody that figured it all out, and I want you to know this little trick because I want to do everything in my power to make your 2025 your best earning year ever. Let's go ahead and get down to this market update. We are 2 weeks out of the year before 2024 is officially over and 2025 is about to begin. And we're going to start off with the bang. The biggest news of the day is going to be SoftBank's investment, $100 billion investment in the United States for pretty much the next 4 years. Now, if you're in this business, you should know SoftBank. But if you do not know SoftBank, just know this. This guy right here, he is actually one of the biggest players in tech. To give you guys an indication of, the type of businesses that SoftBank invests in, I actually pulled up a list. Companies that you may have heard of before: Alibaba, Uber, WeWork, Grab, DoorDash, ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok, Oyo Rooms, SoFi, Coupon, Lucid Motors, Arm Holdings, Slack, Cabbage, TransferWise, now Wise, Revolut, Improbable, Naruto, SenseTime, Auto One, Park 24. The list basically goes on and on and on and on and on. You can go ahead and learn more about them if you want to go ahead and figure out more, but they pour a lot of cash into some of the biggest names in tech. Now, it was only 8 years ago that SoftBank said that they were going to dump. This was back in December 6, 2016. Boy, has the world changed since then. That SoftBank was going to invest $50 billion in the U.S., aiming to go ahead and create 50,000 jobs. If you guys have watched the recent press conference, they are dumping right now $100 billion of investment to go out there and create an extra 100,000 jobs in the U.S. The funny part I think about the press conference was you could see the massive just sheer size and scale, like Trump's just towering over this guy. There is a part of the press conference where Trump is actually shaking his hand. He pulls him in. He's like, you know what? I want to go out there and take advantage of this time to say, can we get $200 billion out of you? And he was laughing, and Trump's just so big, and he's just pulling the arm. He's like, can I get $200 billion out of you? He's like, we're going to try. He's like, if he says he's going to try, that means he says he's going to go ahead and do it. I don't know if he's going to get $200 billion out of Massa, but $100 billion is a really, really, really good start. And he dropped $50 billion before. Seems like the $100 billion is going to go ahead and come in. And I want to go ahead and let you guys know where the majority of the money is going to go into, primarily what sectors, why, how you can go out there and position yourself. Because new year, new job, new me. What are the best industries to go ahead and take and pivot your career? Because I promise you, I started this business back in the end of 2016 as well. And it's actually December 2016. And I can tell you, in the last 8 years, it went by for me like that. Right now, it's December 2024. We're going to see more change in 2025 in 2 quarters than we have seen in the last 8 years combined, and that's including COVID. And as you know, we represent 3 brands now. We have, obviously, our product management brand, we have obviously our tech sales brand, and we have obviously our cybersecurity brand. So without further ado, I'm going to give you a few sectors that you have to go ahead and watch out for. These are the types of places that you want to go ahead and take your career, and these are the type of career moves or skills that you should be planning to level up on to not only stay relevant, but to capitalize, because we are about to go ahead and hit a huge wave. If you position yourself in the right sectors, you will go ahead and print cash. If you're in the wrong places, the opportunity cost is you're just going to get left behind, and it's not going to be a safe place for you to stay. It's actually going to be the worst thing for you to do for your career. So keep watching. All right. The biggest sector that's going to see a growth splurge in the next 4 years is going to be tech. A lot of the things that Trump said in the All In podcast, he's kind of already starting to lay off the groundworks, and they're moving fast. Because, on this team right now, he's pretty much got Elon, but he's moving very, very, very quickly. So you can go ahead and see, it's amazing. Right now, there is something called, I've never really heard of this. I'm not saying that it didn't exist before, but there is something called an inauguration fund, and tech CEOs have been dropping cash into the inauguration fund like no tomorrow. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg dropped $1 million. I think that's like the standard, like just minimum buy-in. Bezos, Altman, all has dropped $1 million in. In fact, they're not the only tech CEOs to go ahead and do it. Trump has been meeting up with tech CEOs up, down, left, right, and center. They all have meetings planned out with him either this week or next week. They're all coming to Mar-a-Lago. Tim Cook from Apple, maybe you heard of him. As you can see here, December 2016. He's coming. He's scheduled a meeting. He's going to be in Mar-a-Lago. The Google CEO, same thing. He is coming. That's December 12th. They announced he's coming to Mar-a-Lago. Trump is also going to go ahead and meet with TikTok CEO. Is TikTok going to be saved, Rich? I've been getting a lot of questions about that. We have some grads from our program across multiple programs that actually work at TikTok. And I'm like, well, let's just go out there and see, this is actually what Trump said about TikTok. It's like, asked about potential ban on TikTok unless it finds new owners. Trump said he has a warm spot in his heart for TikTok because of its effect on his winning a larger share of the youth vote than he did in 2016. You want to know what else is crazy? Let me go ahead and give you some more some back knowledge of TikTok. TikTok's parent company is called ByteDance. So let's take a look at who are ByteDance's investors. ByteDance is backed financially by this international group, this capital group, the Kohlberg Kravis Roberts group, SoftBank, and Sequoia Capital. So I already talked to you about SoftBank already and the companies that they have underneath their roster. If you don't know Sequoia Capital, I'm not going to say shame on you, but if you're in tech, you kind of should. So what kind of companies does Sequoia Capital invest in? Oh, companies like BitCloud, Bolt, FTX, Wiz, Loom, Shine, StrongDM, 23andMe, Instacart, Klarna, Snowflake, Stripe, WhatsApp, ByteDance, Airbnb, Palo Alto Network, ServiceNow, YouTube, Apple, Cisco, Google, Nvidia. Coincidentally, a lot of people that are actually on this list are going to be meeting with Trump even before he steps into the office. So is TikTok going to go out there and stay around? I think it's highly likely. I mean, anybody's guess is as good as mine. But the craziest thing is, you're going to start seeing a lot of really fun and interesting things in terms of, tech. You're going to start seeing alliances form that you never thought. This is a freaking amazing time because it's like, I almost feel like it's like watching Game of Thrones. In fact, it's actually better than watching Game of Thrones. For those of you who don't know, these two guys, dude, I really wish they actually would have fought at the Coliseum this year. But Mark Zuckerberg sets aside feud with Elon Musk to go after Sam Altman's OpenAI. Crazy enough, these three guys that all dropped $1 million each, they all dropped $1 million each. Elon has a beef with pretty much all these three guys, right? He had a beef, it seems like, with Mark. He has a beef with the OpenAI guy. And he has a beef with Jeff. Now, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. Last thing I want to do is actually fight Elon right now because he's got a lot of clout. So I think Mark is actually being very smart by setting aside the beef, whatever it is, whatever problem these two have with each other. Because it seems like they're going to be doing something to go after Sam. But let's go ahead and talk about Elon Musk's influence. Elon Musk right now has a huge influence over the government and with Trump. If like they've been seen pretty much everywhere. These two have been spending a lot of time with each other. And by a lot of time with each other, I would say like a lot of time with each other. This is Elon with Trump right after the victory. They flew together to the UFC fight. They actually walked into the Madison Square Garden together. I was actually in New York at the same time. Shortly afterwards, this is Elon actually with Trump. They went to Texas together to go ahead and watch the shuttle, basically the rocket, go ahead and take off. And if you guys have not watched this documentary by Bloomberg, originals of what Elon Musk wants from Trump and how he created this DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, I think something that all tech workers need to go ahead and watch out for is going to be this. Him and Vivek going into like setting up Doge is not only going to go ahead, if they're going to do what they say they're going to go ahead and do, across all sectors in tech, you guys are going to see added competition into the marketplace. Because if they want to go ahead and make these agencies more effective, once those people get cut, there's only going to be two groups of people left over. The people that get cut, they're going to be looking for new jobs. And what jobs are they going to be going? What sectors of the market are they going to be going to? They're going to be going after what we're going to be talking about today. AI, cybersecurity, crypto. Those are the industries that are going to go ahead and print. AI, cybersecurity, crypto, and overall tech, right? The people that get left behind that are able to stay, they're probably going to have to learn different skills, and a lot of which is going to include AI. So either way, you need to level up on your AI skills to stay relevant across the board. But I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit even more information with you. So what does that actually mean for you as the person that's a tech worker right now? Well, if you're a product manager, you probably want to go ahead and learn AI or cybersecurity, because those are going to be the two biggest growth sectors. A lot of people are not just going to be able to be limited to just something like crypto, because crypto is going to allow you to do a crypto job. But AI is going to be relevant across all fields. If you're in tech sales, you want to be selling AI solutions. You want to be selling cybersecurity solutions. You can go ahead, and there's also companies, there are crypto companies and blockchain companies that hire for tech sales too. But where we see the majority of our tech sales folks making the most amount of money, selling AI solutions and cybersecurity solutions. Cybersecurity solutions are the ones that are making the most amount of money, because I'll go ahead and tell you guys why. And if you're in cybersecurity, well, you're just in a really good field. And I'm going to go ahead and explain all this for you. This is actually a video. It's called how employees are coffee badging to avoid full days at work, right? Is a problem. People are swiping in their key card, pretending that they're going into the office, and then they go out and they actually created this little hack. I think it's absolutely ingenious what people are doing, and then they go home and then they pretend to get some work done. Employers know this, and they're not going to try to fight you guys on this. A lot of people aren't even trying to go back into the office. Some people that can avoid it, they absolutely will. Some people that can't, unfortunately, you're going to have to go back. But employers know that you guys are not there's an unwillingness unless you perform very, very well. I think this is why tech sales is awesome. It's just because it's very merit-based. You make X number of calls, you book X number of appointments, you close X number of deals. Everything is very quantifiable and everything is very metric-based. But if you're talking about other tech roles, it's like the reason why AI is so important is because there is strong competition right now in the marketplace, because it's still hard to compete for consumer dollars. That's why everybody's doubling up on chips. The CEO of the year was Lisa Su. I can't cover Lisa Su's face like that. That's just disrespectful. NVIDIA did very well this year. Companies are trying to get more things done in a shorter amount of time. They're trying to get things done faster, and they believe that a lot of their workers are just not working fast enough. AI is really going to go ahead and help out. And they're dumping everything related to AI. They're going to go ahead and spend a lot. You're going to see like a huge sort of investment. we've already talked about this, or we've seen them talk about this. In the All In podcast right here, where they're talking about like, we need more investment in chips. We need more supercomputers. We need AI. Like, everything that's related to AI, they want to go ahead and move faster with it. And this is actually why cybersecurity is actually so important. But even Japan is betting $67 billion on chips. And I'm gonna actually talk to you guys more about this and why this matters. But there's a very big deal, very big acquisition going on right now from Nippon Steel, which means Japanese steel trying to acquire U.S. steel, and this is actually one of the biggest acquisitions of 2024 going into 2025. Nobody's talking about it, and in my next video, I'm going to talk to you about why this acquisition has such a big effect on AI and everybody's jobs and all that other kind of stuff, and the drama that's going on behind there. This is why you absolutely need to subscribe to the channel so you can go there and keep yourself basically alerted of the situation before the negativity comes out. But you got to understand something. Things need to get done faster because your opponent is not going to sleep right now. Everybody's basically working 24/7. So if you're slowing down and your opponent is speeding up, right? What do you think is going to happen? Well, here's what's going to happen. This is why cybersecurity is so important. When we think about cybersecurity, we think of just cyber threats. We think of like, a lot of times people are like, oh yeah, China is like stealing like industrial secrets. No, corporate or something called industrial espionage. This is actually from like South Korea time punishment for industrial espionage, corporate espionage. This has been going up. To say that like right now you have, you have like, we talk about a scenario. You have like Meta and you have, Mark Zuckerberg and you have Elon teaming up to go after somebody like, let's go out there and team up to go after OpenAI. The best way to win against your opponent is to go ahead and freaking figure out what it is that they're doing. If they're doing something that works, or you know what their next move is going to be, you're in a better position, right? Corporate espionage is at an all-time high. This is why cybersecurity is like a skill that is just so pertinent across all sectors of technology. That's why if you're in tech sales right now, you want to be selling cybersecurity solutions, because people are going to go out there and steal it. Why waste time trying to figure out? Why waste time trying to go ahead and figure out what your opponent is doing if you can just go out there and steal it? Know your enemy, right? Know yourself, know your enemy. It's easier to steal sometimes. It's amazing to me that in like the regular job market, people are like, oh, I don't feel comfortable about saying this on my resume. I don't feel comfortable about doing this on the interview. And it's just like, you don't want to lie, cheat, steal. Like, how companies stay ahead of other companies? They lie, cheat, and steal. You have an iPhone, sometimes they copy the Samsung phone. Samsung phone copies the freaking iPhone. This is actually how they go ahead and stay ahead. But we're seeing cybersecurity threats and attacks go up against all sectors, right? U.S. Social Security Office, it was just 3 months ago, over 270 million Americans had their Social Security numbers leaked on the dark web. You have people out there that are actually stealing just basic you have individual actors or cyber hackers, and you have those people, but you also have companies that are trying to steal secrets from other companies. You have countries trying to steal secrets from other countries. It's freaking insane. This is actually why, like Palantir, I don't know if you guys heard Palantir stocks soared 343% through December 13th. And they are now on the NASDAQ 100. So I'm letting you guys know all of this because you got to think about like where the market is basically going. What are the industries that people actually care about the most? And on top of that, how do you go ahead and position yourself to go and make the most amount of money? The last thing I'm going to go out there and cover, and this was also something that was talked about a lot during the All In podcast, is actually talk about the All In podcast is going to be crypto. There is a coin shortage. I don't actually do anything with crypto. I don't understand it, and I don't dump my money in it. Practically all of my other friends do, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know enough about it, so I don't dump my money on anything that I don't understand enough about it. But you are going to see a lot that goes into crypto. For those of you guys that actually have a crypto background, that's great. But this is another industry that's expected to go out there and see a boom. But overall, I know we get crazy spectrums of politics right now. There's going to be some people that watch this video that are going to be like, oh, okay, this is interesting. There's going to be obviously the Trump supporters, and then there's going to be some people that are not Trump supporters, and you guys are going to send me those hate DMs that I get a lot of. I'm just letting you guys know what's going down. And I don't really need to go ahead and share my political affiliation, but I'm a Chinese kid that grew up in Los Angeles, California. I mean, that should give you every indication that you need to know. But Mitch Romney said something is like, Trump did win overwhelmingly, and it was about jobs. And when people in a country aren't working, you know what happens? This happens. When people feel like, I can't get a job, food price is too high, look for somebody to blame. This isn't freaking rocket science. This has been going down since the Romans. You got a bunch of hungry people. People start getting pissed off real fast. So the truth of the matter is, like right now, you are going to see the most pro-jobs administration ever. And you're seeing a lot of Democrats fall in line too. I mean, Mayor Adams, New York City mayor, probably the most Democratic city out there, one of the most blue states out there. Even he was cozying up to Trump. Why? I mean, because he's going to go out there, and this is how politics works. He's going to go out there and ask for a pardon. This is not actually unknown news, because back when the UFC was actually being hosted at Madison Square Garden, like New York City Mayor Eric Adams essentially kissed the ring at the UFC at the UFC event over the weekend, effectively doubled as a MAGA rally. That little I think all boys trip that went down. This flight on the way to here, yeah, he was seen very publicly in that guy. I wasn't there. I mean, I was trying to get tickets, but I couldn't even get in. But yeah, I mean, because he's got to do what he's got to do. I mean, clearly he's not going to go ahead and get a pardon from Biden, so he's going to go ahead and do what he has to do. Now, in my next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the situation with steel. And on a lighter note, if you guys have not started watching this show called Landman, they're not paying me to say this, you guys absolutely should. It's actually one of the most entertaining shows out there, but it really gives me great indication of how certain prices of one thing impacts everything else. And it's really amazing because when I was in school, I studied history. That was a party major. I didn't study economics. I didn't get a business degree. But overall, here's what I want everybody to understand. Tech is hiring, but you guys have to understand what's going to go on with the marketplace. There's going to be more jobs, so we're also going to see more competition. Number one is you're going to see a lot of these government sector workers that have not had to do a job interview for a long time, and maybe their entire resume has been going from one government agency to another government agency. Start looking at and even the ones that stay on the job at these government agencies are going to have to level up in tech, right? And they're going to start learning AI, and they're going to start learning a lot of skills that they've never really had to learn before, because they're going to get Department of Government efficiency. So you're going to be competing against those people. You're also going to probably see I think something that's been pretty amazing to see is also in the past 2 years, while a lot of tech companies were navigating a lot of uncertainty, government has been hiring a lot of tech workers. There's been product managers and cybersecurity people and sales people going into certain government agencies, or certain companies that sell predominantly their technology to government agencies, like Palantir. Palantir only sells to government agencies, across all positions in tech, whether you're a software engineer, a product manager, a UX designer, a data scientist. Palantir, their end product is their customers are all either government agencies, the military, the CIA, NSA, the UK's National Health Service. So if you're working there in cybersecurity, you're working there in tech sales, you're working there in product management, these are the people that are making the most amount of money because, number one, they're selling a product that people want to buy. Government does pay on time. And you know what the craziest thing about Palantir is? You want to know what the craziest thing about Palantir is? You know the guys that are at the top Palantir? Okay, this thing used to be called the PayPal Mafia. You know who this wildcat is? That's Peter Thiel. Okay, Peter Thiel is with Palantir. Okay, and check this out. How Palantir minted 2 more billionaires post-election. This thing's just all correlating with each other. It's a social club. You're either in the club or you're not, which is why you want to be a part of our community. Is because this is actually where all the news is going to go out there and transact before I even get to my YouTube editor, right? You have to go out there and be focused on this. You have to go out there and be focused on this. You're going to see a lot more people in the government that's going to be coming into going into tech, or like learning tech skills, or skills predominantly used in tech. But the other thing here is you got to pivot your career in where the money is going to be. I'm always saying this in my LinkedIn post. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. If you need help landing your next job and you are ready to go out there and take on coaching, schedule a call with us. We'll show you how to break into the most exciting roles in the industry. We'll show you exactly the skills that you need to level up on. We'll show you exactly how you need to take those skills, how it's going to translate on your resume, your LinkedIn, your cover letter, how you're going to go on the job hunt. Because the next 4 years, is going to be a very exciting time if you plan your career trajectory correctly. Most people don't do so. They kind of look at their career kind of like, it's just kind of like, I just go in there and I do my job. No. Reason why a lot of you are underpaid is because, well, first and foremost, your high school career counselor didn't do their job. Your college career advisor didn't do their job. I mean, if they even knew how to really do a job or get a better job, they wouldn't be working at a career center at a school in the first place. That's just where dreams go to die. And for those of you guys that are at the MBA, I don't even think the people that are working at the career center at the MBA center, at the MBA University Center, those people are even qualified to go out there and help people navigate their careers either. Schedule the call. We can help you make this transition. The market is going to be in AI. The market's going to be in crypto. The market's definitely going to be in cybersecurity. And if you want to go ahead and maintain your position from working from home, you have to level up the skills. This is actually where people are like, well, Rich, you say work from home is over, and then you say I have to go back into the office. If you're good at what you do, they're going to let you work from home. If you're not good at what you do, they're going to want to see your face every single day. It's just a fact, I mean, you have to put yourself in the position of the person that's cutting your check. I mean, if you're writing me a check and I was putting money back into the bank account, you don't give a shit where I'm operating from or what it is that I'm doing. You just want to make sure I'm getting what I need to get done. As long as you feel like you're paying me X and I'm bringing back in Y, you can care less. But if things aren't going well, then yeah, I want you to move into my house and I want to see what you're doing every single second of your day. So the time of when like tech, you can just kind of duck and dodge and not do your work and like feel like, I feel better working from, okay, there's how you feel and then there's how I feel as the person that's actually making the money, cutting the checks, right? Those days are over. You either have these results or you don't. And the best way to go out there and do that is just to keep leveling up on your skills. So many people see our program as like, you're trying to take money from, no. We are giving you the skills to get you a bit so you can go out there and get a better job. You can go out there and keep on moving up in your current job, and that you have a network and a community so you can stay ahead of what's going on in the market instead of like, oh, you always feeling left behind. This is the thing that I don't understand about tech. The other 3 major industries in America, finance, if you live in New York, you see them. They always hanging out. I'm not talking about their coworkers. I'm talking about people from other investment banks and everybody else that supports that industry. Fashion, hanging out with other people in the business is practically your job. Entertainment, that is your job. But in tech, it's like, oh, I don't need you guys just don't believe in networking. The only time tech feels like they need a network is when they need a job. And you know what? That's when it's too late for you to develop a network, because everybody else that was actually spending their time working on developing a network, they're going to go ahead and get to the head of the line. And that's when it's like, if why would I help you if I don't even know you versus there's like 80 other people that need my help right now? You just got to understand. You got to think about investing in your professional community for 2025 as a form of insurance. When you need a referral, chances are there's going to be an 80% chance that's when a lot of other people are going to need a referral. And it's going to be the people that actually have a relationship with those people that are going to get to the head of the line. That's something that you need to know. You wouldn't refer me, so don't blame me for not referring you. Would you? You got to ask yourself, would you do it for me? You don't even know me. I can't even get 80% of people to go out there and click subscribe for free on my YouTube channel that gives tons of value. So you need to go ahead and think about that. My name is Rich. Schedule the call in the link. We have financing and payment options available for y'all to go out there and help you get the best jobs in the business. I'm looking forward to either having you or somebody on my team speak very, very soon. Talk to you later. One more thing for the super fans that stayed all the way to the end of this video. You freaking want to know the best companies to go ahead and work at in technology? Just go ahead and follow Nancy Pelosi's trades. I mean, she does better than the army of analysts that work at Goldman Sachs. You know? She does better than all of them. I'm telling you, she crushes it. She crushes it, man. I don't know what she studied in school, but that's what my kids are gonna. Her trading strategy, absolutely spot on. She's never taken an L before. Her freaking war record, her fight record is better than Floyd Mayweather's. She's like 100% on point all day, every day. So you guys want to know the best tech companies to go out there and work at? Follow Nancy Pelosi's trades.